Consider the bees. Why can't we be more like them? I was at a coffee shop recently and sat down to do some writing, and as I did, I felt a sharp pain on my leg. I've jumped up and said, "Something bit me," to the whole coffee people running the shop. I ran off to check my leg in the bathroom and found a lump, maybe an ant or something had bitten me. I went back to my seat, still in stinging pain, and saw a broken bee on the windowsill. I must have sat on him, and then it had dragged itself, broken body, up to the sill. Another bee hovered next to it. I wondered why the other bee was there. Now looking back, I realised he was trying to help the bee. Oh, so cute and touching. "That's what bit me," I said to the shop people, "and he's dying, but there's another bee sticking around." "Do bees help each other?" I asked them. "Are they intelligent?" The shopkeeper quickly got rid of the injured bee. We smiled at each other, not knowing the answers. Now looking at it, I think the other bee was trying to help his friend who had been injured. Too bad humans don't do the same. If someone is hurt or injured, why aren't we helping them? Why do we just leave them to suffer, especially when it's emotional? From an evolutionary perspective, a species will not survive unless it helps itself, unless the species help each other. Consider the bees. I since found out that bees do help each other, noting that bees work together to bridge gaps, and if they cannot cross a gap, they make a bridge by linking their legs together and walking across their own living bridge, which I find incredible. They also help each other warm when it's warm, to keep warm when it's cold, by huddling together. And if they are hot, they fan each other with their wings to cool down. If they find food, they share it with each other. And apparently, when they find food, they let each other know and come back to the hive and do a dance, which lets the others know they have found food and how far away it is. And if there is a problem, they sound an alarm. This is called the, quote, waggle dance, quote. How cute is that? Oh, so beautiful. They keep in constant communication with each other and work as a group, quoted from Star of Iran, 2018. With humans, we find in groups the power games to control other humans, to hoard for self, to only help self gain, and to gain from using each other. I found this to be more so in the Australian culture than in New Zealand, but it's catching up, never mind. Only humans suicide apart from lemmings. Maybe this occurs due to lack of care for humans of those who need help. It is not always mental illness at all, suicide. Not an illness, but a reaction to stress and lack of support has been found in most suicide studies and research as the most common cause, or social pressure for success, which is now becoming more unattainable as jobs are stopped by lockdowns and this new pandemic since 2020. Humans need to realise what is more important than their riches and attainments. Most species try to survive by looking after each other and helping each other live. In the bees' case, they look after their sick and look after baby bees for each other. They also groom and wash each other with high attention to hygiene so they will not get sick from mites. Some bees are nurse bees that feed the young and look after sick bees, which they only do as one job, the caring for the sick, for the rest of their life so that no other bees are contaminated. However, other bees may change their jobs through their lives. So cool. Note in a quote from Star of Iran, 2018, again, tree hugger, like humans, bees are incredibly social creatures who will protect the ones they love and will work together for common goals. Isn't that what we all want as humans and parents? To protect the ones we love? Our hearts are broken when we cannot protect those who we love, especially our own children or siblings. If we cannot protect them, we are distraught. We are traumatized and broken when they are harmed or die. We blame ourselves when they get hurt by those who we trusted to care for them, especially in the case of disabilities, when we have children with disabilities or severe, even moderate. Other parents blame us when we are trying to do our best for our child instead of giving help and support or advice when needed. Parents attack other parents when they could have helped each other through the hard times or crises. This is wrong. We need to help each other, protect our children and vulnerable adult disability children, and to stand in that common goal against those who would let this harm occur. Capitalism makes people selfish, and greed really is in the nature of the human's beast. They turn away from each other to follow their pursuit of riches and happiness. This is people, not realising that when crises come, you need each other. It's not enough just to have money and things. You need relationships that hold you like an anchor in the storm. It's all about survival. We need to stand together against the corruption and exploitation of our children, even by disability providers. We need the cameras, CCTV, to protect our disabilities, vulnerable and non-verbal children and adults, so that the law system can punish the perpetrators in order for justice and right to be done for our young, especially those who are non-verbal. Without that protection, parents face a life of distress, knowing their child can never be fully protected from harm. The most vulnerable in society, This must change. We must make our children protected. Mothers of disability children have even suicided and taken their children with them when they cannot face a life anymore of stress and think there is no way out, that no one cares or will protect their children from harm, and that they cannot even protect their child with no cameras and no backup. They think they are better off that way of dying and suiciding, since their child will be abused anyway, especially if they're not there to protect them when they get older. Recently, a mother in Australia tried to kill herself and her son, but they survived. She wishes now that she didn't do that. But the sheer tiredness with a child that wakes all night and has seizures, and she was getting older and tired, and lack of support or seeing any future where her son would be safe and looked after, made her give up and feel helplessness and despair leading to her actions. No one should be left alone to feel like this. We all need an anchor, no matter who we are or how strong we believe we are. We need each other, and we need to help each other, not just use each other. We should not withhold help. We need to be kind. To actually care about each other is a very simple principle, but also a very unselfish one. Selfishness might make you rich, but many rich persons, including those like Liz Hurley's ex-boyfriend Steve Bing, a millionaire and father of a child, jumped off buildings during the pandemic due to not being able to handle being so isolated and the depression of feeling no one cares. We need to care about each other. It's so basic. Consider the bee a clever little creature and smart. If you look after others, there will be benefits for you. It's in their DNA. Maybe it's not in the human DNA, but we need to do it. How they look after each other all their lives, using their intelligence to help each other survive the perils of everyday life. We humans need to be more like them and follow the example of care, help, and sharing resources, not hoarding for self, because self needs others in the end and will not survive on its own. We all need an anchor in the storms of life. All the best, Andrea.